Alright, hey, this is my first video of 2024. It's been a while because I've been busy with work and with the holidays. There was just a lot of things to do, and I didn't really have time to film. But this is gonna be my first video of the year. Hopefully, it's one of many. Um, a lot of things were happening in my life, especially my career, but I'm gonna save all of that for another video. So in this video, I just wanted to talk about existentialism, and I thought it was appropriate to talk about it, especially with the new year, because I think as time goes on and everyone gets older, we tend to think more in the grand scheme of things. We start to question our purpose in the world and our existence in the universe. Um, so in the picture here, generated by, as you probably already guessed, AI. It's just a guy sitting by himself, and he's, you know, looking at the universe, and he's probably feeling really insignificant, like a little small ant in the vast ocean of billions of planets and stars. And he feels like no matter what he does is not really important in the grand scheme of the universe. But we all feel like that sometimes, and I felt like that many a times. Um, But anyways, I wanted to talk about my own perspective about existentialism and having a existential crisis, because I've had several in my life, and I'm sure I'm gonna have more in the future. And I wanted to give some examples and what I think is appropriate to move forward, or what I think is the appropriate actions and way of thinking to move forward with it. Um, but this is my own perspective. It's not professional advice. I'm not a doctor or anything. This is just what I think. So this video is more of entertainment purposes, and don't take it as professional advice. But anyways, now that I have that out of the way, let's go forward to the next slide. So I think a lack of fulfillment is what causes people to feel an existential crisis. So in these two images, it shows both ends of the spectrum of this sort of feeling. But first, let's go over the guy on the left. The guy on the left is rich. He has everything. He has like all the girls he could possibly date, all the money and the supercars and a nice house. But if you look, well, I'm kind of covering it. So if you look over his head, you can see a cloud with rain on it. And most of us, if we had these things, we'd be pretty happy, right? We'd probably be won't even mentally comprehend what's going on, because we've never had this much money, we never had a big house like that, and all the cars and all the girls, but um eventually you become used to it and the novelty wears off. So the fulfillment that this one dude got from having all these materialistic things goes away, because your brain can only handle so much dopamine. And then the guy on the right, he's an average Joe like you and me, just working in an office, right? He probably has a decent salary, but he has a lack of fulfillment because he probably just does the same thing over and over again just to sustain his life. So, in my own perspective, I think the guy on the left, because he has everything he could ever possibly have materialistic wise, he should try to be a servant to society and figure out ways that he could help other people and improve other people's lives and have a positive impact on the world by using his wealth and power. Um, and instead of being a living from a space of consumption and just experiencing everything, how about he become a servant of the community and start helping people? So then, instead of people struggling just to do simple things, he could maybe help as much as he could. I'm not saying he should give away his wealth, but maybe pick 3 or 4 people that he knows from his past that he's struggling and try to like help him out, or start a charity, or I don't know, just create a business that could possibly be um, a positive change in the world that doesn't exist yet. Because if you experience all these things and you had all these cars, it's like, if you can't buy anything that will make you happy, how about you just use some of the money to help people out, right? So be a servant. The guy on the right, is in the opposite position. So I think he should actually be his solution should be the opposite, where he's already serving people. The reason why he's depressed and in a cubicle, he's serving a company. He's spending the majority of his time serving multiple people, multiple executives and clients. He's already doing that. So what this guy on the right needs to do is be more selfish. He needs to serve himself more. He needs to go on more vacations and travel and make sure the weekends is for him and his lifestyle. He needs to make sure that the work he's doing at his office is serving him on the free time he has. And eventually he should maybe find some fulfillment in things he could do for himself outside of work. Whereas the guy on the left, the rich dude, could find fulfillment in serving others rather than just serving himself all the time. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope I didn't stumble all over my words. This is all improv, it's not scripted, but that's my perspective. In this slide, this guy might, a lot of people have a crisis because they have no sense of purpose. Sorry, I just like drink soda and I'm like burping. I'm not editing. I can't edit this video because I can't afford Adobe Premiere Pro, and I don't want to look into like free editing software because I'm so fucking tired right now. But anyways, a lot of people lack a sense of purpose in life, and then they start having a crisis because they're asking themselves like, why are they on this earth? What purpose can they serve? They're not spectacularly good at anything. They're not changing the world. They're not making an impact. They're just living, and they maybe their job is just this regular mundane job. Maybe they work at Amazon in a warehouse, or they just work at UPS. Those are very important jobs, by the way, but some people just, they're in the grind and they just feel like a cog in the wheel and their job doesn't define them. So they have no sense of purpose. And I think the approach, if you feel this way, is to pick something that interests you and try to get really good at it. And every single day, that's your purpose now. And even though you're not good at it, your purpose should be to get good at it. Every morning you wake up, your purpose is to get good at it. So for example, if you feel like you're mediocre at everything, pick something you think you really want to be good at. Let's just say it's like, I don't know, running. Let's just say you've always wanted to run a mile under 6 minutes, which sounds crazy. Then every day you wake up, you try to figure out, what should I eat today to make sure I could run faster? What are some routines I should do today after work or before work to ensure that when I run, I'm at optimal performance? What are some things I could research that could make me a better runner? Is there certain stretches? Is there certain shoes I should wear? Is there certain courses or coaching online that I could just watch and learn how to run properly? Is there marathons I could sign up for so I could run with the group and challenge myself? Now you have a purpose. Your purpose now is to fucking run, right? That's one example. Another one could be playing guitar. Like, is there 5 songs I really want to learn on guitar? You know what? I'm gonna play those 5 songs over and over every single day for the next year, and I'm gonna film on the day 365. I'm gonna film myself playing these 5 songs to see how good I got from day one and make a comparison video. That's your purpose now. And those are just a few examples. If you have no purpose, your purpose is to get good at something, and now you have a purpose, and that's that simple. Next slide. Perspective. A lot of people have a crisis because just their perspective of things is either negative or they view themselves as insignificant. And I think this just comes down to appreciating who you are as a person and having gratitude and seeing what life could offer, because it's like, if you're living life and you focus on all the negative, you're going to feel negative. But if you focus on people doing good things and all the cool shit that exists in the world, then you're going to be happier, right? So if you go to if you hang out at places where there's nothing about poverty and homelessness and negativity and crime, then mentally your subconscious mind is going to pick that up, and that's all you're going to be thinking about is everyone's poor, everyone's sick, everyone's dying, everyone's homeless, right? But if you focus on the good things, like, oh, there's, you know, I'm surround myself with people that want to do better, that want to educate themselves, that want to be successful and help others, then you're going to see people helping others. You're going to see people fixing their lives. You're going to see the good in people. If you attend events where people are like doing charity work, or even a music festival where people are having fun as a group and no one's hurting each other, then your perspective is going to change. Go hang out with people, attend things that are happy. It could be anything. It could be a movie, it could be a festival, it could be a strawberry garden or something. I don't know. Just anything that's more positive and is recreational, I think would help you have a better perspective on the world, and I think it's just healthier for your mind, and you would see the world in a healthier light. And just doing those things could really um, help in you handling your existential crisis, because you could see that the world isn't all that negative, that there is some purpose to everything, and not all humans are terrible people, and you could contribute to the good in life. So that is my opinion on having a negative perspective and how to change it, and how it relates to having a crisis. All right, so the big one, I think, is monotony. Did I say that right? Monotony. Monotony. Oh god, I really should like blow my nose next time. All right, so this one I could relate to a lot. Several years ago, pre 2020, I used to commute to work, and it took 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours to go back home. And I did that Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I didn't get home till 8. And I would have to wake up at 7:30 the latest to get to work. That was my life. Um, and I went crazy. And there was no, I felt like I had no purpose. I felt like my whole life just revolved around working. And I was going crazy, and everyone else in traffic, I could tell, was going crazy. And I could make a whole video about this, which I should, talking about my life in the LA traffic. But the my general the point I'm trying to make is that if you're doing the same thing over and over, and you feel like you're a hamster running on a hamster wheel, you're gonna have an existential crisis. And the reason is because you're gonna feel like you're not living, and you're gonna feel like you're just a robot doing the same thing over and over again. And that's not how life should be lived. And eventually you're gonna burn out, because if you do the same thing over and over again, you're not gonna be happy. Okay? Unless the thing you're doing over and over again makes you happy and you voluntarily want to do it, then that's different. But for the most part, if you're just doing the same thing over and over again just to get by and do the and just to afford the necessities in life, then you're not gonna be fulfilled, right? So I think the proper approach to handling monotony is to either change your lifestyle significantly, take the path less traveled by you. So usually that involves changing your routine, and it has to be a significant way. So that means, oh, just because you shop at Ralph's, so you're having an existential crisis and you feel burnt out, so you're gonna shop at Vaughn's now. Those two stores are like basically the same thing. So yeah, your routine's gonna change, but your life is pretty much gonna feel like the same. But what I'm trying to say is, you need to make a significant change in your life to break away from this monotonous feeling. And that usually means changing your career or your job, or just quitting your job entirely, and hopefully you have savings and just doing something else for like 6 months, you know? Um, that's what I did, and I think it helped a lot. Um, And I think finding remote work, if you were in this situation, helped a lot. But because of the current job market, that's a whole different story. But the gist of what I'm trying to make is, if you feel like you're living a not in this life, you should make one significant change in your life that will allow you to be a lot more flexible and do things a lot more different than you were usually doing them. Um, and I think that would help you feel better and help you handle your existential crisis. And I think, yeah, that's it. We're at 15 minutes. I hope that wasn't too hard to watch. Anyways, Happy New Year, 2024.